On this video, I want to do the 6-month review of the Ghost Controls opener with the solar system and talk about the installation. The whole system here, the gate opener, the camera, all run on solar, self-contained, no power wires going to the house. Solar panel and mount, that's from Amazon. I'll drop a link below. It's been working great. I've got this Renogy charge controller here. That's been working really well too. Mounted to the pole, here's my control box. That's what that looks like. I ran some of this flexible conduit here up to a box where my solar panel wires lead into. Also, I've got this camera here just to be able to see what's going on in the driveway. That's a Wi-Fi camera, great product. Let me know, I can do another video how that works out. It all starts with solar, where the power wires come into my junction box, run down into this conduit where it goes right into the charge controller. This takes the voltage from the solar panel, does magical pixie work with it, and then sends it back down into the battery compartment here. This connection is basically paralleled in the panel here, where it taps off into the power supply for the control board itself. The camera that you see right there also runs off the battery. It runs on 12 volts, so it taps into the battery here. With the solar panel and the battery, there's plenty of power, plenty of light to run the gate opener for 5 or 6 days at least. I've never actually had the battery die. 5 or 6 days was about the longest time I've went without sunlight. We've got pretty good exposure here, lots of sun throughout the day. The only thing I don't like about this system, and I don't know if there's something wrong with this, something wrong with my remotes or what, the range. The range is not that good. On the factory remote, I can get about 300-400 feet of range when I'm outside, and I bought 2 additional remotes for other vehicles. They're the 5-button remotes, so I don't know if that's a difference since the factory remote came with a 3-button, but the range on those is maybe about 30 or 40 feet from a vehicle, so pretty terrible. It's nice to have a longer range, so this thing will start opening up, because it is a fast opener, but it's not so fast where you don't have to stand there and wait, which is fine. You know, first world problems, I'm complaining here. But if I had more range, the opener would engage quicker. That would be nice. It's sometimes annoying when you come up a 300-foot driveway and you're pressing the button and nothing happens until you get right next to it, right around, there or so. So all the way I'm pressing the button, nothing happens until I get right about here. I called Ghost Controls, they weren't very helpful. They said extend your antenna. Okay, I might do that, but why does one remote work 400 feet and the other one only 40? Riddle me that. In the 6 months that I've had this thing running, haven't really had too many issues with it. Only problem I had was on a windy day, the gate would partially open and then kind of just stop. I have the 30-second auto close feature, so I didn't notice it until later that day. All it ended up being was the force adjustment. I just needed to increase the force. The wind must have presented some kind of challenge for the opener, so they didn't want to overload or whatever, but that's been fine. Only other thing I'll tell you to do is, if you ever take this bracket off to any reason, don't let the rod spin. You want to make sure this rod doesn't start rotating and spinning. Something in there gets all hoopa-jooped and it doesn't want to chooch. So yeah, don't run it by allowing the rod spin. I had to manually crank it back in, set everything up, and reset my stops. But that was on me. It was nothing that Ghost Controls did. That's me tinkering with something that shouldn't have been messed with. On the street side of the gate, I've actually added this Ghost Controls keypad, and this thing's actually really good. It runs on 2 C batteries. You can program a master code and you can program additional codes. You can program a code that expires after so many days. You can program a code that expires after so many uses. You can turn on your party mode where the gate stays open, or it only takes 1 press of a button to open the gate. So this thing works well. It's been well over 6 months. The batteries are holding up fine. This doesn't get a whole lot of use, only when people come over that know the code. I mounted the keypad on the Ghost Controls arm. They sell this piece of metal is $50 for some reason, but it works pretty good. I made this parcel box here, so out in the country, when the mail comes, they can put it in the box, package or whatever, so it doesn't sit out in the rain. Just a couple 4x4s, 2x6s, a little stand there. This is just your Contico Tough Box. This thing's been working great. And for me to know when something got delivered, I made this little flap here. This is a hinge that I bent up, put a magnet here, so when you open up the lid, this thing falls down. Just for a little ambiance, I added some LED lights. These are pretty good. Amazon special, about 20 bucks. Charge them up. They give a nice glow at night. It's a little bit on the yellower side, so nice gentle light. Let's talk about the installation process now. This was 6 months ago when I installed the gate opener initially. Quick project for today, we'll be installing this Ghost Controls single swing arm gate opener. All right, that's what it looks like. Here's the arm. It comes with some wires, instructions, some brackets. Here's the controller. That's the electronicals. Comes with one remote. I actually ordered 2 more, so I guess I'll have to send one of those back maybe. I wasn't aware this comes with it, so keep that in mind. Also, this comes with the tube clamps. The 2 tube clamps. These mount to here, I believe. And that mounts on your gate if you have a tubular gate. So I think I ordered that extra. Here's some hardware, some screws, some pins, and some other stuff. We'll go through that as we install it. You also get a power transformer. I'm not going to use this. I've made my own solar system on the gate. So I'll hook that up and we'll see if this thing works. I'll start off by mounting this bracket. The arm is going to mount here. I want you to be, you know, parallel with this thing. I'll drop a couple legs in here and we'll see if this works. Now, instructions, they say have it on a flat surface, but we don't have a flat surface here. So I'll see if I can kind of balance this out, make sure it's nice and as steady as it can. And if that doesn't work, we'll cut a pocket out of this post here and make it work. Okay, so looking at the instructions, it looks like from the end of the gate to the center line, so from the edge to the center line, looking at 4 inches, or actually greater than 4 inches. So let's see what we got here. So once we get a measurement, it's got to line up with the holes, but as you can see, I didn't pay attention, and this mount is upside down. Because the other one's got to line up with the holes. I just got to swing this around, bear with me. This bracket here loosely in place, so I'll kind of set the gate where it's going to be at full open. Yep, so right now the gate is probably like 91 degrees, and that's fine. This will work. I might give it just a little bit more. What do you think? A little bit more for good measure? Yeah, a little bit more, maybe 95 degrees, and then we'll lock all this in place. It takes a 13mm 1/2 inch. Impact would be nice here, but you got what you got. I got the box mounted here with just a couple screws. Next up, I've got to run the wire for this into here. I run a power wire from here to here, and we're going to extend this arm out, see if we can get everything set up. So connections are really simple here. Everything's color coded. So first operator, that's the first arm, red, black, green, and white, real simple. The power cable, which is the second one you saw me running, it just clips. You can't get it wrong. It's color coded, and it's male to female, female to male. That clips right in. I always put a little bit of extra slack, yeah, just in case. You never know when this is going to get pulled on. And all this, I'm going to tuck it in real nice once we're done programming. And then the connection for power just goes here. It has an additional fuse on top of the fuse that's on the board. There's a lot of thread. You gotta get it all the way down. I put a little 13mm deep well socket, and you can see I got this pretty tight. I put it on a nut driver on those 1/4-inch impacts, and drove it right home. Then the pin comes in here. Now with these pins, they have a plastic bushing underneath. It goes the same for this. There's a little bush here, a little plastic bush, and man, I tell you, that looks nice. It's like a bronze oilite or some kind of a. So I think we're ready for the maiden voyage. Got the remote here. Let's see what it does. Oh, that's moving. That's actually pretty quick. All right, I like how quiet this thing is. I have to get rid of this. This thing's squeaking, but the motor is silent. Now that everything's set, we've got the control board. Everything's hooked up, connected. Next step is going to be to set our open and close positions. So over here in the top of the board, we've got the limit switches, or the limit settings. We have a jog open, jog closed, and then set. So we'll jog this thing open. So in here we have the jog open, jog close, and set. So what I did is press the jog open button until the gate swung right where I wanted it. Then you press and hold the first set for several seconds. It'll beep at you. Then you open it up with the controller. It'll open all the way up and it'll beep again. And then you close it with the controller, and then you're back in business.